Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm a postgrad student at RMIT. I'm studying creative writing and cultural studies. I grew up in regional New South Wales and I first moved to Melbourne when I finished high school to do my undergraduate degree.
I'm Jenny. I'm studying an undergraduate degree in gold and silversmithing. I grew up in Shepparton in regional Victoria and I moved to Melbourne for my first year of studies.
Moving away from home can pose some real challenges, so we're going to share some tips and stories to help you on your journey. Money's probably one of the biggest challenges for students, right?
Yeah, it's actually a huge difficulty. A lot of my friends can't even afford to go down and grab a cup of coffee whenever they want to. But there is a lot of help available, which is quite easy to get for rural students. And a lot of universities also offer scholarships, which is a big help.
I also worked part-time when I first left home in a juice bar, which is really fun. You have a part-time job now, don't you, Jenny?
Yeah, I do. It's great to have a bit of extra money coming in. I actually work at my university and I speak to secondary school students who come in, give them tips on university and a bit of insight into what it's actually like to study here. A bit like what we're doing now.
It really helps to have a budget so that you have some idea of how much money you can spend from day to day and how much you need to put aside for things like bills and rent. You really don't want to get caught short with that stuff. Housing's the other thing. I lived with a family when I first left home and then I moved into share housing after that. You live on campus, don't you? What's that like?
Yeah, I do. It's actually really great. It's very close to uni, which is really convenient. And it was a great way to meet a lot of new people when I first moved to Melbourne, but I have to admit it does get a bit challenging at times with 150 other people.
There are some challenges to renting as well. It really helps to know what your rights and responsibilities as a renter are. So if you are renting through a real estate agent, you'll go and do an inspection with the real estate agent and you'll have to provide a whole lot of documentation to them. But if you're just renting a room, you might just go along to a housemate interview and that's a really good opportunity for you to see the room, obviously, but also to get to know your new housemates a little bit and get an understanding of how the household works. So things like how they split bills, when the rent's due, whether they cook together.
Yeah, from what my friends tell me, it's important to know how everyone would like to split up the household chores, and it's also good to know what everyone likes to do for fun. Lots to think about. Did you find it hard to fit everything in? I thought it was pretty challenging to learn to manage my own time, and even waking up in the morning can be pretty difficult.
Me too. I weirdly felt really overwhelmed by having to do my own laundry. I mean, I helped with the laundry when I lived at home, obviously, but somehow being solely responsible for it was really difficult for me. And then on top of that, things like doing my own groceries and cooking.
I'm lucky there because on campus my food's provided, but the meal times are set, so if it doesn't line up with my schedule, I have to work out what I'm going to eat. And sometimes I don't necessarily like what's being served. How do household chores work in share housing?
It's a little bit different in each house, but generally people take it in turns. It's a really good idea to have that conversation with your new housemates up front so that you've got an idea of what is expected in the household and how that's going to be split. So for me, I solved my laundry problem by having a laundry day, and I sometimes will have a cleaning day as well, and that helps me just figure out how I'm going to fit everything in my week, and it helps me to do things like take into account travel time to and from uni.
Oh yeah, I have a monthly calendar where I write down all my important events as well as due dates and things like that. Speaking of laundry, I missed my laundry day a couple of weeks and completely ran out of clothes. It's a big challenge moving out of home. Did you get homesick to start with?
Oh boy, yes, really homesick. I really struggled. I missed my family a lot when I first moved into the rented place after I'd lived with the family friends for a little while. I talked to my family on the phone a lot. What about you?
I found I got a lot more homesick this year in second year than I did in first year. In first year they had a lot of activities and things like that organised for us, but in second year uni got a lot harder and we didn't have as many activities, but I try to go home as often as possible, which does help. Do you go home much?
I couldn't, unfortunately. It was a really long way and I got really lonely. That started getting better when I started making new friends though.
It's great to meet a lot of new friends. I was lucky at college because we automatically met 150 new people. And during O Week they organised a lot of events for us so we could get to know each other, and we became like one big family.
Yeah, I met people at O Week as well. One of the girls that I met there, I think we just started talking because we were doing the same course and we enrolled in a whole bunch of the same subjects together, and we were friends through uni, and I ended up attending her wedding.
Oh, nice.
So she's remained one of my really good friends.
Making new friends can be difficult, but it's not impossible. And I think it's important to remember that in first year, everyone's in the same position and we all find it a bit awkward to start with.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually really glad now that I sort of was forced to learn how to make new friends at that time, because now I find it so much less daunting when I need to make new friends if I start a new job or I move to a new area or something like that. What are your tips for making new friends?
You can join a university club or sports team or societies. There's a lot at all the different universities. And if you have a part-time job, you can meet new people there. Lots of people working will also be students and will be looking for new friends.
Yeah, and remember that most people who are enrolled in your course probably don't know a lot of people, so it's a great opportunity to make new friends.
Yeah, that's true. And expect to get homesick. There's great tools like your phone as well as WhatsApp and Skype to stay connected to your friends and family.
It's tough at times moving away from home, but it's also a really exciting adventure.
We hope this has made you feel like you're less alone in moving away from home.
And that there's some really good tips in here for you. Good luck with your journey.